But let's just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people that haven't concealed carry are always worried that they might shoot their dick off. It violates one of the first rules of gun safety, which is don't put anything in front of the muzzle you're not willing to destroy. I get that, totally understand. But you guys gotta understand this. That trigger ain't gonna go bang unless you pull it. As long as there's no button on here that you have to depress and your finger can get caught in the trigger. The riskiest part of appendix carry is when you reholster. When you're at the range trying to be a range commando, just don't jam it back in the holster, just reholster reluctantly and you'll be fine. So this is the Tier 1 Concealed Agis holster. They also have a new one called the Axis holster, which I didn't get that one because I wanted to really try this one out. These are definitely the most expensive appendix holsters that I've ever reviewed. That might be for good reason, but we'll have to find out here in a second. You know, the P10C, I've had this for a couple of months now, and I really wanted to get a good IWB holster for it. And Tier 1 Concealed, it's a funny story. Tier 1 Concealed actually reached out to me like last January, I believe. And we've all just been so busy. And a lot of times when they're sending out review holsters, you know, I never ask anyone to give me priority over paying customers because they did send this to me, you know, free of charge for the review. But for those of you who know me, it doesn't affect how I feel about a product just because someone sent it to me. So I got this in a beautiful carbon fiber on the front and the red on the back, and it's kind of similar. This is a different holster, but carbon fiber and red. I just love that style. I also got these awesome mag extensions for the CZ P10C, which we'll talk a little bit about coming up here shortly. But this one is a very interesting holster for a couple of different reasons. I actually had this one molded to fit with the APL compact on there, as well as room for a compensator and room for a Trijicon RMR in case I get my slide mill. But what's crazy about it is every single light bearing holster that I have, except for this one, it won't retain the weapon when the light isn't on it. So right now you see it's retaining this weapon very well. However, I don't have a light on here. It's nothing but bare bones. I don't even have the comp on here. I was just taking it off doing some testing. If you haven't seen the compensator review that we did for the CZ P10C, I'll put a link down in the description so you guys can go check that out. With all that being said, let's dive up close. Let's take a look at this holster. It has a few sneaky features that other holsters don't have, even beyond what we just discussed. All right, party people. So here we are up close and personal with the CZ P10C and the Tier 1 Concealed Agis holster. Just so you guys know, I get this question a lot in the comments. There will always be a link in the description where you can get PewTuber patches, as well as Tactical Toolbox t-shirts and other stuff. I'm just bringing that up because a lot of people say, hey, where can I get the patch? You just read through the description. There's always a link for all this stuff. Just a heads up. I'll also have a link for this, but like I said, if you're watching on YouTube, just check the first 2 or 3 links in the video description. It will take you to another page where this video is being hosted. That way you can find everything that we're talking about. So this Tier 1 Concealed Agis holster. Now currently, my all-time favorite has always been Redline concealment holsters. These are a different style holster than this one, but these have always been my all-time favorite because of the price and because of the quality that is on them. If you haven't seen my Redline reviews, I'll put a playlist down in the description below. But this one is a very unique holster altogether. It has a few tricks up its sleeve. So number one, let's take out the CZ P10C, put that right there. Just a quick shout out to Shield Arms for sending out these extensions. I've already done a review on these for the Glock ones, and they have them for CZs as well. I do have a 5% off coupon code for you guys. All the links are in the description, but I can already tell you that the CZ ones run like a top, just in case you were wondering. So here it is in all its glory. I have black carbon fiber on the front, and I think this is called blood red on the back. You'll notice something that's very different about this holster is it does have like its own little sleeve for a compensator, which I took the comp off of this because I was doing some testing without it. Now there's a few things that I look for in every single holster that I think they just have to be there for me to really like the holster. Number one, I need clips that are height adjustable, and these are height adjustable in a couple of different ways. One, on the clip itself, you can see these little gaps. You can go up or down with those, but also on the holster itself, there are multiple holes right here for this one. So it does give you quite a bit of different variability with the ride height, which is super important, as well as the cant of them. Another thing that I always look for in a holster is a concealment claw. What this does, if you're new to holsters, this pushes against the inside of your belt line or waistline and pushes the grip into your body even more. That way this grip right here will really conceal well. So every holster needs to have those. So because I have a lot of custom guns that typically have an RMR or a compensator on them, I like for the holster to be able to accommodate for any future upgrades that I want to do, because I don't want to have to buy a new holster every time I do something different to my gun, you know, whereas like in this instance, an RMR or a compensator. So this one has clearance if in case I decide to do an RMR cut on my CZ slide, and then it has clearance for the compensator. And another thing, like I said earlier, that's interesting is this one will retain the weapon, even though it's designed for a weapon light, but without a weapon light on it. For example, here's one that's designed for a Glock 19. I could put the Glock 19 in it, it will fit, but it will fall out just like that if anything gets bumped. Whereas this one, that's not the case. With all that being said, let's jump up top. Let's talk about the different types of configurations that you can put this in. Let's see how it conceals on my body, talk about the pros and cons. Then at the very end, I'm gonna tell you if it were my money, if I would purchase this or not. Back up top. That's what it looks like up close in all its glory. Let's take a look at how this conceals on my body. Like I said earlier, guys, I'm 6'1", 180 pounds, fairly athletically built, so your mileage may vary. So here's how it sits in the front. I always prefer these style holsters when I'm concealed carrying because I always feel like adding the mag carrier adds balance to the holster. Now keep in mind, guys, I do have a 15 round mag with a +4 mag extension on there, so that might affect the way it conceals. So here it is on my body. I'm gonna turn slowly. Let me move my chair out of the way. And I'm actually gonna kind of pull my shirt kind of into me a little bit. So here's how it is when it just hangs. So there's that. I'm not gonna raise my arms because nobody walks around with their hands up. So there it is on this side. You get a little bit of a bulge right there, but that's not huge, right? Like, who cares? Nobody's gonna know what that is. They just think you have a hernia. Turning around, coming back around, there it is. You can grab your shirt, you can draw, present, reload, and you know, fire again, things like that. Now sitting is very comfortable. Usually when I sit down, I just kind of pull my pants up about an inch, pull my chair up, and sit down. Not everyone can conceal these holsters and be comfortable in sitting, but I don't have any issues with it. Now let's take a look at how this holster conceals without the mag caddy attached. So that's one of the biggest features about this is it has these button snaps like I showed you up close right there, and now your mag caddy comes off. So now you can just put it right here, and that's how it will conceal without the mag caddy. What's cool about this is you have room for moving the holster, you know, to the right or to the left, wherever is most comfortable for you. And the same thing, it conceals like a dream. And you can still pull it up, present, fire, things like that. Or you could take this holster and maybe put it, you know, somewhere else on your body. I don't know where you would put it, but there's nowhere else that's really comfortable for me. But you could put it elsewhere if you like. If this is something you're interested in, I will put a link below to where you can pick up these holsters. Now, here's what's the coolest part about this entire thing. So when I first got my CZ P10C, everyone kept saying it will fit in your Glock 19 holsters. And I got out every single one of my Glock 19 holsters and my CZ P10C wouldn't fit. However, right here we got the CZ in it. This is my EDC Glock 19 that has the Enforce APL on it. Fits like a glove. Take the mag here. We can even put a mag right there. Everything is solid and it feels like it was made for the Glock 19 as well. I mean, you hear that? Like, that is beautiful. However, keep this in mind. This is a custom slide on here which has the corners chamfered. If I take an OEM Glock 19, it won't fit because the tops of the slide isn't chamfered. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you do have custom slides on the Glock, you basically get 2 holsters for 1. So now let's answer the question, okay, this is definitely the most expensive holster that I've ever reviewed before. What do I think about it, and would I purchase it knowing what I know now? I would. Here's why. I love modularity. Anytime anybody does anything that's modular, you have my attention. Like the fact that you can disconnect this super quickly and easily, but when it's reattached, it's like it's made for it. Another reason is I really like the flexibility right here. It really fits your torso. So if you are someone who has a different body than I do, it's gonna flex to fit your body. The third reason is it retains the weapon without a light on it. That is huge. This is awesome because I'm still waiting on another Enforce APLC to arrive, and now I can carry this just like it is without the light. That is legit. I like the fact that they have clearance for an RMR, and this is a different one. You know, I did ask for room for a compensator, and they did, you know, make a little channel for the comp. Now with all of my other holsters, usually the comp comes out just a little bit at the end, and you know, if you're at the range shooting and then you put it back in your holster before it cools off, yeah, it could burn a little bit. So this does prevent that. You know, I did shoot this at the range, reholstered it right after I shot it, and I didn't feel any heat from this, and nor did it misform the Kydex, so that's huge. I would definitely purchase this with my own money, knowing what I know now. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments section below, and let me know also, what's your favorite concealed carry position and or holster? I'd love to talk to you guys about it. But until next time, I love you, and you guys stay sexy.